Okay, boys, we're going to be looking at the area of a parallelogram. So let's have a look at your notes. So you should meant to have printed this out so you can write on top of the page. So let's start off with what a parallelogram is. It's a quadrilateral with opposite sides parallel and opposite sides equal length. Now, quadrilateral, quad means four. Quadrilateral is just a shape with four sides. The opposite sides are parallel, so we are going to put down a pair of lines here to show they're parallel. And this pair of sides here, we're going to put two arrows on there. We're going to put two arrows on the opposite side here as well. So that means these two sides are parallel, the opposite sides, and this pair of opposite sides are parallel. Now, the other property about parallelograms, of course, is that the opposite sides are equal. So single dash there to show they're equal, and then two dashes here and two dashes here to show that those opposite sides are equal. Now, the reason we use single dashes and double dashes is because this side here with a single dash is a different length to this side here with a double dash. So we can't use just one dash for each side. Okay, so opposite sides equal and opposite sides parallel. Now we want to find the area of a parallelogram. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a corner off the parallelogram. So we're going to get our scissors and we're going to cut along that dotted line there and cut that corner off. Okay, so let's have a look what that looks like. So we cut that corner off there, and then we're going to put that corner, we're going to slide it across. So we're going to take that corner and we're going to put it over here. And what you should notice then is that a rectangle is formed. Okay, so from the rectangle, from the parallelogram, we've made a rectangle. Now, let's go back to the very beginning. Now, this here, if we get a dotted line or a vertical line, let's do the height. The height of this parallelogram should be at 90 degrees. There we go. The height is at 90 degrees. So just draw a little right angle symbol there. So just here, 90-degree angle there. And that is the height of the parallelogram. So if we go down to our rectangle's also got to be the same height, doesn't it? So the rectangle has to be the same height because it started off as a parallelogram. So here's our height. Now the other interesting thing is the base. So this length here, let's call this length the base. Here. That length there, call that the base. So if you go back to our parallelogram, that base length, if you like, is this length here. That's the base there all the way just to there. Okay, so we've got a rectangle which has got the same base and height as the starting parallelogram. Okay, so here's the height of our starting parallelogram, and here is the base, if you like. Base is the base, go all the way to there. And you might be thinking the base should be on the bottom. Well, it can be, because opposite sides are equal in a parallelogram. This is also the same length. Okay, so from a parallelogram, we can cut a corner off. We can slide that corner off to form a rectangle. And that rectangle's got the same base and height as a parallelogram. Now, the good thing about that is we know how to find the area of a rectangle. Area is base times height. Now, because this rectangle has the same base and height as the parallelogram, that means the parallelogram can have the same formula applied. So here's our conclusion. We've got a parallelogram. Let's put the parallel symbols on it. There we go. Let's put in the height of the parallelogram. So the height is a line which makes an angle of 90 degrees with the opposite sides there. And that's got a 90-degree angle, so that's the height. Put that H for that. And let's call this the base. That's the base there. Base and the height are at 90 degrees. And because we can make this into a rectangle with the same base and height, the area of the parallelogram is area equals base times height. Okay, so let's use that formula now to do these questions. Okay, first, here's our parallelogram. Area equals base times height for a parallelogram. Base is 5. The height is 9. So 45 meters squared. Okay, now, what about this one? This is also a parallelogram. All right, the parallelogram, that dotted line, by the way, is not the parallelogram. The parallelogram for this particular shape, right, you've got, I'll just trace it out for you. So you got, this is one side of the parallelogram. This is the other side of the parallelogram. This is the other side of the parallelogram, and this is the other side. So the green outline is a parallelogram. Now, why did they highlight, why did they put dotted lines on this part? They're just showing you the height of the parallelogram, because the height of the parallelogram is this distance here, okay, because it should be at 90 degrees. So let's put that at 90. There should be a 90-degree angle there. So if that's 12 centimeters there, then this here is also 12 centimeters. So this height is 12 centimeters. Now, the height and the base are always at 90 degrees. So notice that this is a 90-degree angle here. So if that's the height, this is the base just there. That's the base, that's height. So base times height is 7 times 12, which is 84, and it's centimeters squared. Okay, so that's all there is to the parallelogram. Make sure that's copied down into your books. That's the end of our video.